Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Fall Split Season Ticket 2015 Smite Pro League predictions. Now, normally I would say this would be Week 3, but as you can see here, it's labeled as Week 2 now. The official Week 1 was the Fnatic versus Titan match at Gamescom. That was labeled as the kickoff for the Fall Split, and it used to be on the season ticket labeled as Week 1, but now they took that off the season ticket, and now Week 3 is actually Week 2, so that means I had to change the, the titles of the videos and things like that. So, a lot of weird things happening, as well as Week 1 had a lot of roster changes, team swaps, things like that. They were kind of like last minute, so hopefully now that can kind of stop, because I really hate that when they just roster change at like last minute. It makes predictions really hard for the first week. So now that first week's out of the way, now we can easily see where these teams are standing at and how they're good at and their weaknesses, things like that. So we can actually go on to Week 2, as well as something else I wanted to point out. These numbers are really weird here, so just kind of be aware of that. Like, it has Titan as 1-0 here when they've won more matches than that, and you go down, it has Titan as 2-0 here. It's really weird. It has Eager as 1-0 when they went 2-0 last week. So just be caution of these numbers. It's really weird. And of course, as well as I have the Smite Pro League website in the description below, as well as the Oceania Pro League website below, so you can check out the teams for yourself to make your own predictions. Now, let's start with the Titan versus Team Dignitas. Titan is one of the top EU teams. Dignitas is still trying to find their way with roster changes, so I'm going to give this a 2-0 to Titan. AFK Gaming, similar story here. AFK Gaming is one of the top North America teams. Enemy still trying to find their way with the new team and all, so giving this a 2-0 for AFK Gaming. Now, moving on, we have London Conspiracy versus Myrmidons. Myrmidons, they're looking really good so far. They went 2-0 against Team Dignitas in Week 1 last week. London Conspiracy, they struggled a little bit. They had 2 roster changes, but overall they have the more experience with their three main teammates that they have there. So if anything, maybe a 2-0 for London Conspiracy, but I'm just going to give this a safe split. Next, Eager, still looking really strong, especially since they have their new solo laner Omega, formerly in Cloud9, versus Cognitive Gaming. Cognitive Gaming, once again, still trying to find their way, and they are one of the lower teams in the North America scene, so we're going to give this a 2-0 for Eager. Next, we have Fnatic versus Epsilon Esports. 2 really strong European teams. I want to give this a safe split. If anybody was to go 2-0, I would personally probably give it to Fnatic, but I'm just going to leave this a safe split as well. Team Dignitas, versus Justice. Justice looking a little shaky. They're formerly known as Upcoming Stars. Both these teams are on the similar level as far as in the European side, so I'm just going to give this a split. Next, we have Cloud9 versus Denial Esports. Cloud9, despite having the roster change in their solo lane, they have Baskin now as their solo laner. I still feel like they can probably take a 2-0 versus Denial, even though Denial did take a game off TSM last week, which was very impressive considering TSM won the summer finals tournament. So who knows, maybe split, but I'm going to leave my bets with Cloud9. I still have faith in them. Next, we have Enemy versus Team Elevate. I'm just going to give this to Team Elevate. I have faith in this team. Never really had too much faith in Enemy Esports, but who knows? They did pick up a new team. I believe they're formerly Legion of Carrot, and now they're enemies, so let's just switch that to a split. I'm a split type of guy, but that could, come back to bite me. So, moving on, we have London Conspiracy versus Paradigm. Paradigm, really strong European team. I'm just going to leave this 2-0 for Paradigm. London Conspiracy, I feel like they still need a little bit more time to get their team synergy up, considering the roster changes to them. Titan, again, one of the top EU teams versus Myrmidons. Just coming out of Challengers Cup, I'm going to leave this with Titan, definitely. Now, the classic matchup with Eager and Team Solo Mid. My heart says Eager, but for stat-wise, I'm probably going to leave it with TSM. But I'll be really impressed, and I would really love to have Eager go as even a split, or the best case scenario 2-0, since I'm a fan of Eager. But I'm just gonna leave this with a team solo mid, since they have been Eager in the past multiple times. Next we have Oceania Gaming versus Cognitive Gaming. Another story of one of the top North America teams versus one of the bottom tiers, and with the roster changes, things like that, I'm definitely leaving my bets with AFK Gaming for sure. Moving on, we have the Oceania Pro League. Let's go into week 3. See, this is kind of weird. Week 3. So we have Avant. Man, I am terrible at names. Avant. I'm just gonna call them Avant versus the Chiefs. Both of them are 3-0. I believe these numbers are correct. So both teams are undefeated. So somebody's gonna lose here. So somebody is definitely not gonna have that flawless victory streak there. So I'm just gonna leave this a split. Next we have Team Kamikaze versus Ivory Gaming. The score say 2-2 for Ivory, so I want to give my points to them, even though it could very well be a split. Invictus versus Dire Wolves. Dire Wolves are undefeated. They're also one of the top Oceania Pro League teams, up there with the Chiefs and Avant, so I'm going to leave my 2-0 picks with them. Next we have Lore Gaming versus Synapse Gaming. I'm just going to leave my bets with Synapse, even though it can probably go a split, which I may change that to a split later. So that's going to wrap it up for the predictions of week 3, week 2, whatever week it is, since they're really weird about this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think as far as prediction wise, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.